But this year seems to be a very, very good vintage, as you would say in terms of wine. It seems to have really resonated with a lot of clients, a lot of local colleagues, and I've been spending quite a lot of time over the last few weeks going out to see different clients and talking to the trends and consulting on these things. And we think we're in a really interesting situation now where we have, as Carlos says, this sort of maturity. So the first online advertising was 25 years ago, and we now have lots of people working within the agency who were born since the first online advertising. So, people have never known a life before online advertising. But we now see greater interaction between online and offline, greater convergence between services. So we think, and we think the convergences are going to increase. So, for example, we think that there will very soon in the West be shopping via social networks. So we already have this in China, for example, but we think we will soon, in the next couple of years, be shopping from Instagram, for example. We also think that e-commerce will become far more experiential. So at the moment, it's very, you look at Amazon, it's very flat, pictures, links, words, but we think with augmented reality, with live video, we're going to see an explosion in how e-commerce sort of sells itself to us, how e-commerce becomes engaging. We also think that messaging is going to become far more real with, more and more video in messaging, but also games within messaging. So you're talking to your friends and you're playing games at the same time, and everything is happening within your device. So we think we're at the start of a really interesting new evolution with these things. We also think that, almost conversely, that at the same time as people are using social media more and it's getting more engaging, more immersive, we think people are stepping back. So we think more people are trying to detox. Every week it seems that there seems to be a new book about the damage that social media does to our brains, whether it's our brains or whether it's our children's brains. And we think that we can see more and more companies like Apple producing tools and producing ways for people to try to limit what they do and to try to understand what the technology is doing to them.
One of the examples, uno de los ejemplos que hicimos esta mañana, por ejemplo, de hablar de ese trend en España, era por ejemplo el anuncio de IKEA de Navidades. No sé si os acordáis, de las familias, que es brillante desde el punto de vista de lo que quiero usar en la box esta que venden, que por supuesto nos hay que ganar el dinero de vender una caja de cartón, pero toda la evolución del posicionamiento de la marca, incluso lo habéis visto en los catálogos, cada vez más son familias en el catálogo. La primera portada son marcas realmente que está transmitiendo y conectando con valores que van justo dentro de esa tendencia del detox. Al final es redes sociales, ha habido una especie de un empacho, ¿no? La gente está un poco empachada y ahora hay este proceso de que la gente está aprendiendo a manejarlo y hay un proceso de venir atrás y aprender a ver, señores, no nos vamos locos, y esto está perjudicando a nuestros niños, perjudicando las relaciones familiares, perjudicando muchas cosas, rendimiento laboral, etc. Y hay todo un proceso de aprender a manejarlo.
We think with almost all of our clients' brands, they have a reason to speak about detox, because all of our clients have a concern with wellness, about the health of their customers. With, if it's an alcohol brand, it's about spending time with your friends, enjoying yourself, rather than just like sort of looking at a screen. We were in the restaurant yesterday, and there was a table behind us where all the 4 people were just looking at their screens, and they were spending time together, but looking at their screens, which is kind of crazy, really. So we see that as a really interesting trend. We also see, as Carlos said, with the event of GDPR, we see more and more opportunities to target using context and using situation, and both through sort of technology better understanding what the context is, how somebody's feeling, so what emotion an article might trigger in somebody, and then which advert to place against that. But also with out-of-home advertising, more and more opportunities as out-of-home becomes more digital, that we can make sure that the message which is being delivered by the poster is the most relevant to the person looking at it. And obviously with out-of-home, you really don't know who the audience is, but you can reach it is, you know what the weather is, you know if it's raining or if the sun is shining, and you can tailor the message in that sort of way. So we see more and more opportunities to do things like this.
Uno de los ejemplos, Yolanda y Dan,
Yeah.
Uno de los ejemplos que usamos también esta mañana fue el caso, por ejemplo, de un cliente de la casa, Coca-Cola, que no sabéis si habéis conocido esta campaña, que es una campaña que va a ser bien trabajada con unos grafitis, y era toda una historia de Coca-Cola que básicamente lo que estaba haciendo, y ese es el tema importante, más que la tecnología, es cómo usamos la tecnología para una experiencia, que era en tiempo real lo que está haciendo el data por detrás, y por eso es que la inteligencia al exterior. Entonces, no es solamente la marquesina de la parada del bus, es que cuando el bus llega, también la publicidad del bus está conectado y nosotros sabemos perfectamente en qué momento está, y la persona que está en esa parada sabemos del perfil que tiene. Entonces, lo que es la experiencia, que esa marquesina también con la parte de mobile que se dispara a nivel de programática, está contando la misma historia, y hay un movimiento que es asociado, que lo que es imaginar un bus que llega y tiene otro tipo y la historia sigue porque se anima en la marquesina, y tiene una historia después con el móvil de la persona, después de entrar en el bus o ir a otro sitio. Y eso es una relación.
Si estáis todos mirando la página, es la 16.
Perdonad. Y este es un vídeo que, si queréis, podemos pasar, que es un caso que hemos desarrollado, hemos trabajado como parte del ecosistema de preparación de esto en la parte de exterior.
Creo que tenemos las píldoras de vídeo, si queréis, para contextualizar.
Sí, ahora si tenemos tiempo un momento, porque no hay varias cosas, y si tenemos un momento que os podemos enseñar, ¿vale? Es un ejemplo muy interesante de toda esta...
No, perdona, Carlos, me refería a las píldoras de vídeo que están preparadas, ¿vale?
Ahora en el final... Vale, perdón.
But I think for us as an agency, I think you know, as digital grows up, we're still trying to find the best ways to advertise to people. We're still trying to say, you know, we now have the data to do this, let's do this, but we don't have this data anymore with GDPR, so we now have to change how we do things. And then also what's really interesting at the moment is that I think we're at the moment where for years we've used data for targeting campaigns and for doing market research to devise a creative message, but we're now at a situation where we can use this data to actually create products and to create services for or clients can do this to create products and services for the customers that they have. And this trend, in fact, I was thinking about writing about last year, but I simply couldn't find enough examples. So there were a couple of cases in China where people had designed things based on data mining, you know, thousands of reviews on review websites. But this year, last year, we started to discover lots of examples in the West of this happening. And it's things like Amazon. Amazon have created a store in America where all of the products have 4 stars or more on Amazon. So it's a physical store, but they're using data from Amazon.com to decide what gets stocked in the store, which is amazing. You know, and no.
What's that store that you?
It's called the 4-Star Store.
It's in London.
It's in New York at the moment, but I expect Amazon will start to open them elsewhere in the world, because the idea is just genius. Because as Amazon knows which products people like, and you can open a store and fill it only with those products, whereas other retailers don't have that sort of, you know, that insight, that sort of knowledge, because they don't have as much data as Amazon. We also see rock bands using partner data from Spotify to decide, well, partly which cities to play concerts in, and then when they play concerts, they can help decide which songs to play. based on which songs are popular in that city. And again, you know, this sort of thing, it's brand new, but I imagine in 5 years' time, almost everybody will be doing things like this. It will become very commonplace. And there's even a company which uses data from Instagram, so publicly available data, to look to see what sort of comments people say about what influencers are wearing. And if everybody loves a particular dress that Rihanna is wearing, or everybody writes, I want to buy this, I want to wear this, then they can make something which looks quite similar and have it on sale within a week. And so again, instead of just using
data-led products.
Just data-led products. So instead of just using the data to say, let's advertise on this website, let's have this message, they're saying, let's go to our factory and make this based on what we see on Instagram, which is, I mean, amazing that these things happen. And then the final theme really is the thing that enables all of these, which is that there's now so much speed of data and so many people have access to 4G. So I think more than half of all connections now in Europe are 4G. And what it means is that more data is flowing back and forward. People have more sensors, more wearable devices. And so what I think is it's now altering the way that people use media. So some people, a lot of younger people will make a video rather than to post a text message, or they will, if you use something like Instagram Stories, about 50% of Instagram Stories are now videos, because it's possible for people to make these, because the phones they have are very fast, and the data they're allowed to use, you know, it never runs out. And so we're getting this. We're also seeing websites becoming popular which are purely video, like TikTok, which is...
¿Conocéis TikTok?
TikTok, ¿no? La plataforma esta de los jovencitos, ¿no?
Sí. Yeah.
La que era musical.
Yeah.
Sí, sí.
Es curioso porque es uno de los primeros casos de un producto realmente chino que está causando un...
But what I think is that, say 3 years ago, this site could not have had its popularity because people weren't able to watch as much video. They weren't able to have access to as much data as they have now. And so I think, I think Facebook is now copying the features of TikTok. I'm sure Snapchat will start to introduce more of those features, and so more and more the services that we use will become more and more video orientated. But also, if you're on TikTok, there's like an infinite number of videos. So if you watch a video and it's not amusing within 5 seconds, you just flip to the next video and the next video.
It's the Tinder.
And you just swipe,
approach.
And so the irony is, as data becomes faster, our impatience becomes less. So the more access we have to fast data, the more we switch to find the next big thing. If you're on a website and you're trying to find what you need, what information you need, and you can't find it within 10 seconds, you'll switch to another website. What Spotify say is that songs have become shorter as people have had streaming, because they just want to get to the good bit of the song more quickly. So you get less of an introduction to a song, and it goes straight into the chorus much earlier. And so again, you know, the more we have data, the more it's just speeding life up, and it's going
it's
to...
like on Netflix, when you see a series,
Exactly.
You want to see the next one, and you don't want to see all the names of them. No, it started... It's like
but also
very
within
fast.
the episode, it's almost like a YouTube advert.
Mm-hmm.
Within the episode, you want the episode to be exciting or funny or something within the first 3 seconds, or you might just decide to watch something else. So it's like the lesson that people have been learning from YouTube skippable advertising is now getting applied to Netflix, to Netflix and other TV shows. That it just has to be good. It has to be good immediately, or people will just.
So it's a problem for our industry. It's a problem for the art industry,
Yes.
no? Because we live from the interruption at this moment.
Yes.
We live about
Yes.
this. It's the money you make, all these people make, and also you. So we will see what happens in future,
Yes.
no? Next future.
Por otro lado, one of the things that is happening is that what we are working with brands is that we have to learn what's the implications of this very fast for advertising, because we know already that we need to do certain things for YouTube videos. We know how certain things have to be done with certain platforms, but the thing is, the impact of the way people consume content is huge, because the new generations that are coming that have been totally digital native, they are going to be arriving with a mindset of they have no patience of waiting for something to charge. And I was saying something today when we were in with several clients, and I was saying something to say, look, we the thing is, until now, we believe that we could afford to have a little bit of latency time. Sometimes some apps and some websites don't charge as fast as we should. Some things are not adapted to the platform. When 5G arrives, and very soon, and especially because the people don't accept already that, the younger people, if you don't are in a immediate availability of the information when you want it, and it's not interesting for the first beginning of what you're looking for, it's not relevant, it doesn't exist. So the viewability will be even more of a challenge. And then comes the story, you have to be extremely relevant to keep people watching the ad, the content.
Difficult times are coming. No?
Also exciting.
But also exciting times.
Because there were never so many possibilities, but it's very challenging.
Yeah, so I think it's a fascinating time to be working in the industry. I think over the next 2 years there's going to be so much change within the industry. I think there are going to be so many more disruptive startups, in the same way that we've seen companies and apps and sites which are mobile native. We'll start to see them which are 5G native, which are sort of designed around super fast speed, and so the disruption will just continue.
One of the things we talked also this morning was about the impact of this connectivity that is going probably to be less of let's say, of expansion at national level, because we used to, now comes the 4G in Spain, it's no longer going to be like that. It's like, because of the specificities of the technology, 5G, for instance, is going to be right by city. And it has to be very connected also with the way cities are organized. So we talk more and more about smart cities technology. So actually in Spain, it's not even Madrid that is in the front run. We're talking about Malaga, we're talking about Barcelona, Valencia, as part of the pilots of 5G for there's a lot of speculation, but the main carriers, the teleco carriers, are talking about these kind of first pilots. So it's going to be much more city-based. So actually we are going to see also a transformation on the way the brands have to think about these things. This is going to be about city communities and smart cities connecting because of the connection with devices, with the way the city works. This will have huge impacts, we believe, on outdoor media. A lot of huge impacts on the way we have to think about communication per city also. Versus, this kind of national, we do everything the same. And this also is going to be quite interesting, the way it's going to happen more and more. It's very difficult to summarize this in such a short time, so we esperemos que no sea cualquier... A ver, si tienes alguna pregunta, como ¿cuánto tiempo tenemos todavía, Minerva?
Señores, tiene una cita a las 4, ¿verdad?
A las 4.
Se tienen que ir como mucho en 15 minutos, Carlos.
Vale.
Yo te sugería, como tenemos las 4 pílulas de 4 minutos,
perfecto.
que tú los pusieras y les contaras en español los 3 cosas importantes de cada uno de los bloques, ¿os parece? Digo porque yo creo que es mucha información y es difícil entre el poco tiempo y el inglés que os llevéis un contexto general. ¿Os parece bien que hagamos así?
Sí.
Tenemos preparado en español 4
píldoras
que son...
De cualquier forma, yo creo que hay una... hicimos un esfuerzo por tener un resumen de cada una de esos temas, y tenéis realmente la presentación aquí, pero claro, es algo que necesita un poquito de... yo creo que es relativamente rápido de navegar. De cualquier forma, y creo que es dentro de la razón, Giovanna, lo hemos preparado, es algo que vais a tener disponible. Vais a ver que es curioso porque es muy difícil hacer una píldora de vídeo que solo hable de una cosa estanca, porque las cosas están tan conectadas entre ellas. Entonces vais a ver que algunas son quizás un aspecto más puro de uno de estos temas y otra yo creo que cruza más que uno y ahora lo comentamos en unos
Sí,
segundos.
es un trailer.
Sí.
Si no nos gustan los 3 primeros segundos, no.
Exactamente.
Tú verás.
Vamos a empezar por la primera.
Con Fernando tenemos nosotros, no lo podéis saltar.
¿Cuánto vale nuestro tiempo? Las redes sociales se enfrentan a una reacción violenta a medida que las personas intentan reducir el papel que juega la tecnología en sus vidas, más preocupadas ahora por la salud y el bienestar. Salas de conciertos, restaurantes y bares están experimentando con la prohibición de los teléfonos, alentando así a las personas a disfrutar del momento y no vivir su vida a través de sus pantallas. Facebook, Instagram y YouTube ya están introduciendo herramientas para que las personas sean más conscientes del tiempo que interactúan con los servicios. Así que hay que hacer la experiencia mucho más relevante para el consumidor. El gaming gana terreno en las redes sociales. Aplicaciones como Facebook Messenger y Snapchat se están enfocando en los juegos, rompiendo los límites entre el entretenimiento y la comunicación. Como consecuencia, las marcas están alentando a sus fans a involucrarse aún más, invitándoles a tener una conexión más profunda a través de sus propias aplicaciones o comunidades sociales y a jugar al mismo tiempo.
Yo me vuelvo loca entro a un súper así. Yo entro a un supermercado así, me todas las vacaciones muy hablando, me vuelvo loca.
Sí, pero lo que va a pasar y creo que es interesante, nosotros tenemos, probablemente parte del gran chute de esto, no vamos a ser nosotros aquí en esta sala, son nuestros hijos, todos
Sí,
nuestros
claro.
hijos y la generación que venía justo después, es que para ellos es natural, porque ya van con y la forma como van a tener su interacción con el AR, con la realidad aumentada, es algo que nosotros no entendemos, no vamos a entender, ya. Son parten de otro tipo de paradigma, ¿no? Esta película está muy enfocada a una parte de lo que llamamos de los sociales, que la gente está aprendiendo y está llegando a esta fase de madurez. Claro, y las plataformas están reaccionando a ver, yo me siento empachado de esto. Entonces es como varias reacciones y como también las marcas están adaptando, las plataformas en su capacidad de dar soluciones a las personas para navegar en esta realidad y poder de cierta forma digamos, centrarse en el valor que aportan y no en los impactos negativos en general. Hay un aspecto también que tiene que ver con efectivamente la parte de gaming y hay un tema que en la píldora siguiente va a hablar un poco, que también me gustaría ya referir, que es esta fusión entre el social y el comercio. Es decir, como vamos a ver, las plataformas realmente de comercio social están totalmente interconectándose. Y hoy por la mañana teníamos Amazon y Instagram. Con nosotros lanzamos la pregunta provocativa. Os vais a tallar una a otra porque uno se va a transformar también en una red social y el otro se va a transformar en un e-commerce. Entonces, ¿cómo vais a hacer esto? Fue muy interesante hablar sobre esto. Pero ahora vais a ver un poco de esto que pasa.
Vivimos en un nuevo contexto. Las redes sociales y las apps, cuyo uso exclusivo era tradicionalmente chatear, se están convirtiendo en los nuevos puntos de compra y de interacción entre las marcas y los consumidores. Las compras se están volviendo más sociales y será más fácil para los usuarios compartir las notificaciones de una compra e incluso comprar en grupo. Se están empezando a relacionar los productos con los momentos, con las experiencias focalizadas en eventos culturales y de ocio. Tenemos ya grandes ejemplos como el gigante chino WeChat, donde además de enviar mensajes y hablar con amigos, ahora puedes hacer compras. Instagram no ha tardado en seguir su ejemplo y otro buen ejemplo en España sería la aplicación de 21 Buttons. La conclusión es que ahora tenemos un nuevo contexto para el comercio y las marcas pueden vender sus productos en lugares donde los usuarios tradicionalmente acudían tan solo para divertirse o relacionarse. Un paso crucial y muy relevante para el sector de la moda y la tecnología, especialmente para las compras impulsivas de bajo coste y en particular con la inclusión de la entrega rápida.
Bonita voz.
Suena, ¿no?
Como veis, muy profesional. La película es muy sobre lo que vemos nosotros, el comercio social, el social commerce, como están de moda vamos a ver los documentados.
El contexto es ahora un aspecto clave para conectarse con las personas, pues afecta a la forma en la que compramos productos, consumimos medios y, por tanto, en cómo creamos contenido. Los profesionales del marketing se enfrentan al nuevo desafío de cómo utilizar los datos para dirigirse a los clientes y esto ha impulsado nuevas formas de pensar. Ahora los medios están más centrados en el contexto en el que aparece su anuncio. Identificar al consumidor concreto, su necesidad y lanzar un mensaje personalizado en tiempo real nos obliga a aprender, comprender y medir nuevos parámetros, como la emoción. Un mundo nuevo de posibilidades para el medio exterior. Los datos no solo se utilizan para optimizar la campaña, sino incluso para crear el producto. Y así lo ha entendido, por ejemplo, Amazon, con su tienda 4Star en New York. Amazon está utilizando sus propios datos para crear su tienda de productos estrella. Otro buen ejemplo es el grupo de rock Metallica, que hace los repertorios de sus conciertos en función de las reproducciones de los fans en Spotify. La conclusión son mayores beneficios y una oportunidad de aceleración para pruebas de concepto y ensayo, pero las marcas deben tener cuidado de no permitir que estas ventajas eliminen la casualidad. Todavía existe la necesidad del impulso y de la emoción humana.
Aquí veis una mezcla entre lo que es la parte de emergencia del contexto y realmente cuando se usa el data para entender ese contexto y diseñar producto, la experiencia a partir de la información del data, ¿no? Es exactamente eso que toca esta arquitectura que preparamos y que habrá algunos ejemplos que Dan nos comentó. I was describing the connection with the examples with you're referring to, because it's connecting different things. The last one.
¿Cómo construir confianza? Convertirse en un servicio para suscribirse y no solo en un producto para comprar, crear más puntos de contacto y una relación más sólida con el cliente es ahora el más de las grandes marcas. Hemos visto cómo en los últimos 6 meses este modelo se está extendiendo a categorías inesperadas. Xbox, Nespresso, Uber, Nestlé y Globo, por ejemplo, ofrecen suscripciones para fidelizar a los clientes a través de ventajas especiales. Son nuevos modelos de negocio y nuevas formas de conectar con el consumidor, lo que también genera nuevos y numerosos datos. La rapidez en la conectividad está convirtiendo al mundo y la vida en un vídeo. Creamos nuestras propias historias. Más de 400 millones de personas lo hacen ya cada día en Instagram. Nos gusta cada vez más la rapidez en los contenidos. No en vano, el 5G está a punto de ser una realidad en el 2020. Nos abrirá un mundo ilimitado de posibilidades de conectividad, ocio y experiencias que compartir con todo el mundo que ahora casi nos cuesta imaginar. Aumentarán los datos y toda esta información será crucial para las marcas que deberán esforzarse en crear experiencias más relevantes, pues la rapidez también hará más fácil captar la atención y mantener la permanencia del usuario, lo que nos lleva a pensar en el gran reto al que se enfrentan las tiendas físicas, que están cada vez más amenazadas a medida que la conexión en línea y virtual se vuelve más fácil y más rápida.
Esta última píldora volvía otra vez a conectar. ¿Recordáis lo que era el diseño a través del data y la conectividad? Como las dos cosas están ahí conectadas. Bueno, básicamente es otra píldora. Hay una parte aquí interesante, nosotros no tuvimos tiempo para hablar, how to switch to English, because there was a trend that actually that Dan was placing, that is life as a service. What we mean by life as a service is how really you design services that are about a certain interest or need that you have in your life, that gives you great experience and service because of the data it has. An example is the $1 shaving club. It's very well known, but we'll give an example. Was given today that was someone that already using a service, for instance, something as simple as a toner for printers. It was interesting because he says, okay, I just got it with that subscription. So I receive the toner directly at home when they know I'm going to need it, because they know it, because it's connected to the printer, of course, to the system. So they know how much I use. And they know that the pattern of use. They know that in the weekends I'm important to print some other things. So the next time I'll need a toner, it will be in my box already, and they know exactly the kind of promotion that I will need. So he was a very small example of something that then you won't go again to buy that were in a retailer. You won't go again to buy it of someone that offers you a promotion that is not for you. It's a huge pack, I don't spend this, I spend another thing. And this is just a small example of so many things on the life as a service in terms of subscription that also comes because of the connections, connectivity, because the things have to be connected in terms of the possibility of Internet of Things, of technology, and the second is the data design for the experience.
Compañeros,